Let me open up the notes. All right, so somebody go ahead and log in, see if it's streaming from. It is? Okay. Okay. I wish I could get that lighting right. Okay. All right. So let me trickle in. Okay, class. So everybody come in. Let's look at our assignments that I posted. All right. All right. Y'all kind of quiet this morning. I need to give a quiz and kind of boost y'all up. Y'all rolling. All right, so let's look at those assignments that I posted. Okay.
It was like, of course you listen to that song.
Say what? You know, if it ain't about my assignment.
It's about CSCI.
Oh, okay. What y'all bus running late?
Yeah.
Oh, y'all running late?
No, the bus running late. We came here from
Huh?
We came right here from the bus.
Yeah, but what time is it?
Oh, yeah, we weren't late.
That's it? That's all? Okay, all right, okay. All right, did y'all see my assignments I posted last week?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it worked. Homework?
Huh?
Come on, your homework?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You worked on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so what if I try to turn it in? Deletes every time.
It deletes what? Off of your computer or from the submission?
No, from the thing. So I saved it. I made a whole account. I made an account. I saved
Whoa, whoa,
it.
whoa, whoa. Now you're in online GDB. All right. What you need to do? You need to do the download.
Oh yeah. My friend told me that. Okay. And I tried that.
And then it saved it. It actually leave that particular screen. Just go in and leave it, but it won't delete it off the screen.
Okay.
You understand? And what happens is then it asks you for, normally, depending on how your computer's set up, it asks you what folder you want to place it in, you know, where you want to put it. Then once it puts it there, it should be whatever, .cpp or, you know, on the .h, and then you can go to Canvas and do the submission, but you have to know what folder you saved it in. All right? All right, so let's look at those assignments that I had posted, all right? Here we go. Chapter 3, Program 1, all right? It says write a C++ program that will allow a user to input, that should be 3. I put there, but I'll change that. 3 integers, all right? Calculate and print the product of the 3 numbers, okay? And determine if the product is odd or even. Now, there's one aspect we're gonna be using of C++, which is the if statement in here that we really didn't go over, but I'll kind of show it to you. All right. So what happens is you're gonna input 3 numbers. Please enter the first. Enter. Please enter the second. Please enter the third. Now, your output should look something like this: the product of whatever the first number is, comma, whatever the second number, and notice you're not actually printing how would I say it? Using the number itself to print, but you're printing what? Using a variable. Everybody understand that? You're not writing a cout statement that's saying the number, cout, the number, the product of 5, comma, whatever, comma, whatever. No, you're writing cout, the number, the product of close the string, and then stream the variable, right? And then the comma, then stream the next variable. Everybody got that? And I want my space. Alright, and then like I said, also the product. So it says in an example, if 3, 5, and 7 is entered, you should output the product of 3, 5, and 7 is, and then the product. Okay, so it could be any numbers that are inputted. Correct, class? Right. So now, once you calculate that, then you should have your if statement to check to see if the number is even or odd. What's a way we can find out if a number is even or odd? What's in general? How are we knowing if a number is even? Huh? If it what? Yeah, if you divide by 2, right? Evenly, correct? So, what mathematical operator allows us to check to see if a number is divided by 2 with no nothing left over? I don't want to say the other part.
Like what do you use?
Yeah, what I
Percent?
modulus.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's the percent sign, but it's called the modulus. So if I did 100 modulus 2, what's my remainder? Huh? What? My remainder?
2. 100 divided by 6?
What's the remainder?
Wait, what you said? 100 what?
100 divided by 2. What's the remainder?
Oh, 50.
Huh?
50.
You're not listening. The remainder.
Oh, 0.
Oh, you understand?
Oh, okay.
You right, you got me? 0 is the remainder, therefore the number is even. So if I had 7 modulus 2, what would be the remainder?
7.
Y'all not thinking.
Say it again. 7.
7 modulus 2. If I divide 7 by 2, what is the remainder?
1.
1. Long division. Yeah, you guessed 3, 2, 1. You didn't know which one it was. So the thing is, you divide the number by 2. 2 going to 7. How many times? Huh? No, just long. 2 going to 7. How many times? 3. Period. 3. Now, 3 times 2 is what? 6. 6 from 7 leaves what? 1. 2 can't go into 1, so you got 1 remainder. Right? So that means 7 is what? Odd. Right, class? Everybody understand it? Got it? Okay, you say you got it. So that's how I want the program to work. Make sure you that the prompts prompt the user for the input. So that's that first program. Alright? And make sure you send your header file also. Now, the next program. Write a program, that says, click on it below. Here we go. Write a C++ program that will allow a user to input the information shown in the example below from the keyboard. So now, it wants you to input an employee's name, and it should be the first and last name. Now, if I said I wanted the first and last name to be inputted into that one variable, how will I input it? What will I use? What command I'm going to use? Huh? What I'm going to use? I'm inputting from the keyboard. When I input from the keyboard, normally what command I use? CN. But I want to input blank spaces into this input. So now I have to use the what? Huh?
Get line.
Get line. Who said get line? Get line. Because without using get line, it's going to take the first name and try to put it in the first variable. And when it hit the space, it's going to stop. And then it's going to try to take the second name and put in the next variable. Y'all don't remember that from that assignment I gave previously? When you had to do your name, what you plan, what's your major, what you plan to do once you graduate? Remember you had to use that CN.get line once you input it, like your city with 2 names, your occupation with 2 names, etc. Alright, everybody understand that? So to accomplish this, for the name, even for the job title, a job title can be what? More than what? One word, right? With the spaces in it, so you have to use what to input it? Huh? Get line, right? Then you see it. Alright? Then it asks for wages. Wages should be of what data type? Yeah, you had a job before? Okay. You had a job before? What was your wage?
It wasn't like an actual job. I work for my dad.
Oh, your dad didn't give you money. All right, okay, now I'll just go. But normally a wage is what? The amount you make per hour, right? And that normally is in what form? Decimal. So what would be the data type? Float or double, right? Depending on the size, right? Right, class? Then look, hours worked. Hours worked would be what? Huh? Huh? Miss, what's your name? Last name? Miss Hollins. Okay, if you work for me and you work 5 days out the week and you work 6.5 hours for those 5 weeks, how many hours can I input for you each day if you just said integer for the input?
Wait, say it again.
30.
Right. You work 5 days. You work 5 days a week for me, but you worked 6.5 hours each day, and every day I had to put in your hours, and I could only put in what if it's integer? Huh? 6. Right? I couldn't use the 0.5. When actually you worked how many hours? Huh? No, 30 what?
6.
No, 32.5. Because you got 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and 0.5. So you done lost 2.5 hours because you chose to write the code using just integer. You understand? Because I can work 1.5 hours, 1.75 hours, 3/4 of an hour, etc. Correct? All right. So that should be decimal or float or double. Correct? All right. So it says to calculate the deductions, which is 17.2%. So what that's saying is, whatever your gross is, I want you to deduct 7.2%, which will go toward whatever insurance, whatever taxes, or whatever. I just chose that number. But now you need to know how to what? Calculate it and then what? Deduct it from the gross pay to get what? The net pay, your take home. All right? All right. So let me ask you this question: 17.2%. If I write it in the expression, would look like what? How would I write it out?
Is it like declared?
I could, but I'm saying how would if I declare it, what value I would give it? Okay, now that's the data type, but I'm saying what's 17? If I had to use it in the expression, what it actually represents? 17.2% is really what?
0.00.
No. Divided by 100, which would make it what? 0.172. You move the decimal to the left if you divide by 100, right? Or you could do the 117.2 collectively in parentheses divided by 100. Either way, it give you that answer. All right, that 7.172. But you understand, so you got to be able to do those things. You got to be able to understand what the problem is, how to figure it out. Now, these are some things we're gonna go over today. All right, so you're gonna calculate the gross pay and the net pay, but using the set precision, fix, right, left, show point, and set width commands, you're gonna format your output to look like this. Okay? Now, this is the header. Normally that you have to send, that you have to call, right? But look here. It tells you that you wanna output the name, this is the headers, name, but the column width is 25. Job title, a column width of 30. And then you have wages, hours, and taxes with a column width of 10, and net pay and gross pay a column width of 12. But if you look at this, all of these here are left aligned, okay? So if you look at name, job title, wages, hours, gross pay, taxes, and net pay, they are aligned to the left. So whatever the number of whatever the size of the column width, I'm gonna align the output for that to the left. But now, look at the output, and I didn't specify it, but you can look at it and tell. Look at the output. So if a person input John Doe for their name, it's gonna be under name column. I wanted the column width of what? 25. Name is what? Left align or right align? Left align. Job title, column width of what? 30. Left align or right align? Left align. Then we got wages. Wages is what? 10, right? This is, you can't really tell because it's both the same, but it would be right align, okay? All these are because you want all your numbers. If I had multiple records, I want all my decimal places to go from right to left so that they can be all even, right? But now, look, oh, excuse me. All right, so everything, all the numbers gonna be right aligned, okay? Now, with the numbers right aligned, also, if you look at the format, the wages, how many decimal places? 2. You can set that in your code, okay? You, the programmer, can tell what the format should be. Everybody got that? But look at hours. Hours is what? How many decimals? 1. So you see what happened? Now I went from 2 decimal places down to 1. But then I went back to what? 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places. Right, they understand it, and you control that. Now, what some students try to do, they'll try to write a program that where the decimal place automatically gonna come out to something with whatever, with 0, 0, whatever. What I'll do, I'll put in data to where it might come out to 3.33333333. And what'll happen is like, you didn't know, oh yeah. That means you didn't use the format, okay? Now, so that's that assignment. But we're gonna go over these commands, okay? These particular commands. So let's look at the next assignment. All right. Basically, this assignment, we're doing similar work. We're using set with whatever. But look, it says write a C++ program that will prompt the user only once to input 5 scores. Now, what are we doing here with our CN? We're doing CN because it's just numbers. What we gonna do? How many CNs I want you to use for the input in 5 scores? Only 1, all right? Everybody got that? When I look at your program, if I see CN whatever, CN whatever, CN whatever, CN whatever, take it off. Because it tells you, using, it says to prompt the user only 1 time for the 5 scores, all right? Now, and you should be able to type a number, space, type a number, space, type a number, space, type a number, space, type a number, hit enter, and it should accept it, all right? Now, all test scores must be displayed with 1 decimal place. So no matter if somebody type in a whole number, when you output it, I want the format to be what? 1 decimal place. Everybody got that? The average must be displayed with how many decimal places? 2 decimal places. How do you find the average of 5 numbers? Huh? How you find the average? Collectively add them all together. Once you got that total, then you divide that total by 5. Everybody understand? You don't say test 1 plus test 2 plus test 3, example, plus test 4 plus test 5 divided by 5. Because what it's going to only do, it only going to divide the last one and then add up all the other 4, which is going to give you a ballooned number, right? So make sure you understand how to calculate average. Hey class, just like I say, if you don't know how to do it, research it. Look online, talk to somebody. Because when you get a job, you might not know how to do everything they actually do, but there would be or should be resources to where you can have a, helpline, say, hey, I got a friend that works in such and such and such, and they've done this, let me call them. Or I got this manual here, I could go to this section, look in and see how I can do whatever. So you don't just try to go off on a whim and try to figure out what to do and you're not sure. Research it and make sure you know this is how it's done, right? Otherwise it's gonna be wrong, okay? So it tells us that what? Output column headings using the column width of 10. So each one of these column headings, test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4, test 5, and average, gonna have a column width of 10. Now, it says using the sample data below, which I didn't really tell you, align output of test scores and averages with the first letter of the column heading. So what happened? All of these numbers gonna be what? Left aligned. Everybody understand that? Even though this one, once I typed it, these one didn't align right. But with the first letter of what? Of the column heading. So they're gonna be what? Left aligned with the same what? Column width, right? Of 10. Everybody got that? If you try to use any other numbers, then you're gonna be trying to throw off, you're gonna be thrown off and doing all kind of other stuff. Alright? So that's that assignment. Any questions? Questions? Alright. So here, this last assignment, what we doing, we taking an expression and we actually writing it out as solving it. It says write a C++ program that will allow a user to input values for the variables A, B, and C to solve the following expression given that A and C are positive values. So you don't want to input a negative value for A or C. But the thing is, this is a what? Huh? That's what?
Square root.
Square root. So now you may have to use the math function to use the what command? The square root function. Square root function is SQRT. Alright? So if I wanted to find the square root of 4, of 4, I could say x equal to SQRT and in parentheses put the 4. And it's gonna assign 2 to that value. Alright? But what we have an expression. We don't have just a constant, we have an expression. So you would have SQRT and then what? Whatever that expression inside the parentheses. So here, B squared. How we get B squared? We can use the power function or we could do what? When you square a number, you're doing what to it? Multiplying by itself. So I could say B times B. But to use the formula, I could say B squared, right? Either way, you're getting the same value, B times B or B, power B2, right? B comes to 2. Then what? Plus 4 times A times C. You got me? And they're going to solve this and then find the square root, and that's your answer. Everybody got that? Those are the programs. Now, like I said, you could go to ALC, for help. Like I say, because sometimes you might just want to make sure it's right, or you could get a little help. Or you could go to the 3rd floor in the library, to the CUSA area, and they also have assistance up there. But like I say, try to get your programs class. Try to understand how to write this code, all right? All right, now, let's go to any questions? Any questions? Questions? So I'm gonna have all my programs, right? And I'm gonna tell you like I told the last class. It really, how do I say? It really is harder to grade programs that are not right than the grade programs that are hard. You understand? Somebody just throwing something together and I'm looking at what's going on, why they did it, what's here, what's that. That take me longer than to look at it, oh, I got the output, let me see if they follow whatever. And I could say, okay, got this, got that, that's that. All right, that's more simpler than, wow, why did they do this? How did they come about this? Where is this come? And then I gotta evaluate that and give you a grade, you know? So try to get it right. I don't mind you working together, but work together, but individually. And what I mean by that is everybody should have their hands on their own computer. Everybody should be trying to go through the thought process of programming and coding their problem. But if what? If you got an issue, oh, what did you do right here? I did it this way, how did you do it? Oh, I see, I got it. Nothing's wrong with that. But to copy something exactly like somebody else, zero. All right? Okay, so let's go on with the chapter. All right? Okay, I think we talked about that. All right. So we had talked about these operators already. Right, we had talked about that. All right, we talked about that. All right, because we had talked about typecasting, right? What is typecasting? I could take a number and what? Or any variable and represent it what? As a different data type without affecting it. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what happens here. So let's look at this. So what happened here, okay, typecasting. This is an example. Here we have a variable, all right, that's a double, all right? Double is what? Have decimal points, right? But what I want to do, I want only the integer part or the whole number of that variable. So rather than trying to use something, some kind of expression to try to calculate to get whatever, I can do a static cast. That's the command. I can say val, which is int, is equal to static cast, which means I'm taking number and I'm representing it as an integer. And when I do that, whatever that integer value is, I'm going to store it into val. Okay? So what? 3.7 represented as integer would be what? 3. So now val is equal to what? 3. And I never changed the value of number. You got what I'm saying? All I did was use it to say, hey, take this, use it as an int, and then put that value somewhere else and let's move on. So I never changed the value of number. All right? I just used it to represent the int part of it. All right? So let's look at this example here. So what happened in this program, you have a program that's trying to find out the average books a person read, all right? But what they did, they read in the number of books a person read and the number of months it took them to read those books. So that's gonna give you books per month, all right? But books per month or per month is of double. Remember we talked about the promotion of an expression? If I multiply or divided an int by int, it's going to return what type value? That's clear? It's going to return that int. But if I have an int and an int, and they're dividing an int by int, but look what they did to one of them. They static cast it as what? Double. So now when I say a double divided by an int, it's going to promote to a what? A double, right? And now I can get what? That value that when they put 30 and then they put 7 for the month, then I could get that 4.28571. Other than that, I would get just 4. You understand? Because an int divided by an int will only return that int value. Remember that? All right. So now, so that's how the static cast works. So you can change any value data type using that so that you can do whatever. Remember the letter A. The letter A, if I said char letter is equal to A, right? If I wanted to find out the numeric value of the letter A, what could I do? I could static cast it, right? I could say static cast letter, right? Or int letter, right? I could say x equals static cast int letter. And then what? It's gonna take letter, which was the letter A, and it's gonna say, okay, what's the numeric value for A? 65. It's gonna store 65 into that variable. Because I converted that letter to an int and it's stored it. Alright? So stuff like that you can do it without having to try to recreate other variables and do some other stuff. Alright? So now, let's see here. Multiple assignments and combined assignments. Look at this statement here. A equals B equals C equals D equals 12. What we doing here? All we doing is saying what? Every last one of those variables is equal to what? 12. But it's starting from what? The right going to the left. It's going to assign D to be 12, which is going to assign C to equal D, which is 12, which is going to assign D to equal C, which is 12, which assign A to B, A to B, which is 12. So they all will equal to 12. All right? So you always go from what? Right to left, remember? All right? Now, looking at this, we should know x is equal to x plus 4. What happens here is, now we may have written an expression where we gotten a value. But when we have a variable on both sides of the equal sign, then we what? We're actually accumulating a value. We're not overwriting the value. And what I mean by that, say here, and this shows it, x is equal to 6, right? This says, assume x is equal to 6. What would this result into? X is equal to x plus 4. What will be assigned to x once this equation finishes? 10. The reason being, it says, it's read like this. I know 6 is in my memory. 6 is equal to 6 plus 4. So it what? Solves on the right and assigns to the left. So whatever is in x previously is going to override it with what? 10. You got what I'm saying? So when you have a variable on both sides of the equal sign, it will either accumulate, increase or decrease, or whatever, and then what? Change the value of that variable. All right? Look here. X is equal to x minus 3. So 6 is equal to 6 minus 3. You solve for this, which is give you what? 6 minus 3 is what? 3. So it's going to say, okay, now I'm going to overwrite 6 with 3. You got what I'm saying? So that's what happens. All right? The variable is on both sides of the equal sign. Here, x is equal to x times 10. So 6 is equal to 6 times 10. 6 times 10, 60. So it's going to take 60 and then overwrite 6 with 60. All right? Same thing here. 6 is equal to 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and it's going to assign 3 to x. And then x is 6 is equal to 6 modulus 4. How many times 4 go into 6? 1 time, right? With what remainder? 2, right? And then they're going to take whatever's here and store, overwrite and store 2 into x. All right? So it tells us these type of operators are very common in programming, okay? For convenience, C++ offers a special set of operators designed specifically for these jobs. Now, so look here. The same exact thing we did previously, but now you can have a shortcut, all right? You can have a little shortcut. Look at this first statement. You got x on both sides of the equal sign, right? So what they're saying is, you can write it shorter by just saying x plus equals 3. Plus equals 4. All right? But they did the 5 here. But this expression here is equivalent, not say equivalent in value, but in writing it is the same as writing it this way. So what? Plus equal. X plus equal 5 is just like saying what? x is equal to x plus 5. Okay? Y minus equal 2. Y is equal to y minus 2. Y times equal 10. Z times equal 10. Z is equal to Z times 10. So everybody kind of see what's happening, right? Everybody understand that? So if you see that in the program, you won't get all frantic and say, whoa, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. Right, Claire? We understand it. All right. Now, and so if they, what happened is they just wrote a program. Store one is minus equals sold. So what happened is they input the number of items sold. So now in the store one, you got so many items. So store one is equal to store one minus sold. So whatever store one was equal to, it was equal to 10, and they sold 5. 10 is equal to 10 minus 5, and they overwrite 10 with 5. Right? So that's what it's kind of showing you happening here. All right? Now, I could show you in online GDB. All right. All right. All right, so I would say int x equals 5. All right, so, and then I'll say x is equal to x, x plus equal 5. All right? So, what will output, class? What would be the output? 10. Because all we're doing is saying what? X plus equal 5 is just like saying x is equal to x plus 5. So what? 5 is equal to 5 plus 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. It's going to overwrite 5 with the 10. All right? So if we run this, and we get our answer, which is 10. Okay? So everybody see that. And I can do whatever. I can do the times. All right? And what's the answer if I do times equal?
25.
All right? 5 is equal to 5 times 5. All right? So run that. Let me get 25. Now, let's do it the long way. I'll do it like this. Okay, x equals x times, all right, times 5. So, x is 5, then x is equal to x times 5. We should get the same thing, right? 25. So, like I say, which one is right, which one is wrong? Neither one, all right? But it's a programmer style, right? Programmer style, right? So you get the same answer, all right? All right, so, oh, not here. Yeah. Okay. So, here. So now you got to understand this. You might say, well, Mr. Vessel, what if I have an expression on the right-hand side? How does it work that in that fashion? Look here. It says results time equals a plus 5. What that means is I don't just simply multiply results times 8 and then add 5. I'm multiplying results times that whole expression. If you understand what I mean, because it's different. So what happens is result is equal to results times whatever that expression is. So if you put that parentheses there, then now you have to what? Solve that expression that was already on that side. Then multiply by results, and then it'll overwrite the answer. Everybody got that? So whatever is on that right side, so I'm on the left. Yeah, whatever's on the right side, you have to solve before you what? Multiply, right? Whatever's on that right side, if it was plus equal, you'd have to solve before you add, okay? Everybody got that, all right? Now, looking at this, so x plus equal b plus 5. You gotta solve this before you add, you got me? So it's just showing you. Y minus equal 8 times 2. You got to solve the expression before you subtract. All right? You got to solve the expression before you multiply. All right? You got to solve the expression before you divide it into 8. You got to solve the expression before you find the modulus of that value. Okay? Everybody understand it? All right? So, because like I say, you're gonna have some dealings with that in the program. You have to understand it. You cannot forget these little techniques. Now, this is what's gonna help you with your programming, your output of your program. All right, formatting your output. Okay, we're gonna be introduced to a new header file, and then all those other commands that we were talking about. All right. So this says cout objects provides ways to format data as it is being displayed. This affects the way data appears on the screen, or even if you're writing it to a file. The same data can be printed or displayed in several different ways. For example, all of the following numbers have the same value, although they look different, right? You got decimal places, you got E notation, right? So and then you can have the one that's 10, whatever. All right, but that's E notation here. So now, the way in which a value is printed is called formatting. And anytime you are rearranging something or setting something up on the screen, that's formatting. Some people design screens or format screens. How your output, where your output is on the screen, that's formatting. How your numbers look or whatever, that's formatting. So what we're gonna look in this section is how to format our number, all right? So, here we go. Here you have these numbers, and I think from the previous semester, some of these numbers printed out different. But look what happens. When you output it, when we outputted these numbers, it outputted the first row of numbers, the second row of numbers, and the third row. So the first row of numbers was num 1, num 2, num 3. So those 3 numbers. And depending on the size of the number, it printed them a certain way. Then you got it outputted num 4, 5, and 6. Then it outputted num 7, 8, and 9. And this was the output, all right? So, unfortunately, the numbers do not align up in the column, all right? This is because some of the numbers, such as 5 and 7, occupy only one position, all right, on the screen, while others occupy 2 or 3 different positions, all right? Cout uses just the number of spaces needed to print each number, all right? To remedy this, cout offers a way to specify the minimum number of spaces to use for each number, okay? A string manipulator called setW, all right, that's one of your commands that you're gonna be needing to use to output your information, even though you're gonna have to still know how to calculate your stuff. setW can be used to establish print fields of a specified width, okay, given this example. Value is equal to 23. Cout set W to 5, and now output value. What that's saying is, and notice set W is before what? The stream of the actual variable, right? So if I had a variable after that, and I wanted to set the width to 20, I'd have to do what? I'd have to stream right after that, set W 20, and then stream the variable. Everybody understand that? So, looking at this, cout, okay, what I want to see out, I want to see out value, but how many spaces or columns do I want to use to display that value? It says 5. By default, it will be right aligned. So now, set W 5, I'm outputting my value, and it's going to be right aligned. One thing that's missing here though, if you're writing it in a program with the set W, is the IOMAN IP header file. We'll get to that, okay? But we're just looking at the command set W. All right. Now I can. Well, it won't actually show because I moved everything over. But if I would do this, if I do inline and then cout, tell you what, I'll do this. Yeah, I'll do this. All right, 0. Now, and I'll set W to 5, and then I'll output X so we can see. But before I do that, I have to do IOMAN IP. Now, watch what happens, class. I just put these numbers to start printing. I need to take this off. From that first column on. So watch. All right, so look here. This is the first column, right? Second column, third column, fourth column, fifth column of my screen, right? It's moving on and on and on and on. So what? It says, okay, take them 5 positions and then output my give me my output. And then it put 25 and left how many spaces in front? Those 3, right? Because it didn't take up all that, right? Now, it will not give you an error if you output something that's larger than that particular width, right? Say, for instance, I was trying to print out 1,000,000, and I say set column, set W to 5. All it's gonna do is just push everything over, all right? It don't give you an error, but it'll cause you some confusion. But everybody see set W 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'll put 25 in between what? Column 1 through 5. And it's what? By default is what? To the right. Now, you say, well, Mr. Leslie, if it's to the right, how can I set it to the left? Simple. A left command. Okay? And when I run it, see? To the left. Now, the thing is, if I do this, let's see, when I output, I'll output test, all right? Where do you think it's gonna start outputting test? I'm outputting 25, but then I'm gonna output the word test. Where will it start? It's going to put 25, then I want to output test. Where will it start with the T going forward? And what? What's the set width for X? So where do you think this is going to start? X is going to take up these 5. So test going to start where? In 6. You understand? I didn't set a width for it, right? I just say print test. See? So the first one take up the 5 columns, and then it's just gonna start wherever. But if I would do this, if I do a set W to 10, right? And I think it's gonna keep the left by default. Then all of a sudden it's gonna do what? It's gonna say, okay, from that 5th position, move 10 positions, use the next 10, which is what? 6 through 14, right? And then print test within those columns. Everybody understand that? All right? So let me do this. So when I run this now, see here? This goes from 1 to 5, correct? This goes from what? 10, let's say 10. So you go 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15. I said 14. So now, from 6 to 15 is the area for test. You got me? But then I said do what? Right align it. So it's gonna start from the right to print it. Everybody understand that? Everybody got that? Whatever I stream, I can give a column width and I can give the alignment. Right? Questions? Everybody getting this, right? So my program is gonna be correct, right? Okay. All right. So now, oh, not here. So now, set W, all right? So look here. Look what they did here. In this example, value is 23. They see out what? A parentheses, set W to 5. Then they see out the value, which is 23. And then they, they set W to 5, see out the value 23. And then they put the close parentheses. Just to show you, this is what? Printed, but then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is position column 1. This is column 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is column 7. Right? Okay? All right. So look, by default, everything is right justified, everything to the front padded with blank. All right? That's by default. But like you saw, you could right align, left align. All right. So look here. Now they have set W in here, right? It's the program. But what did they add? You have to have that header file loaded. If you do not have that header file loaded, you will get errors. Everybody got that? Right? You will get errors. Like, Mr. Vessel, we talked about this in class, but it didn't work. I don't know why it didn't work. That header file. All right? But now look what happens. It says set W6, set W6, set W6. But then for each one of them, set W is set to what? 6. So I'm printing out one line where 3 numbers are set W to 6. The next one is set W to 6. The next output set W to 6. So look at the output now. Everything is aligned, and then what? You don't have to what? Put blank spaces. If you know the size of your numbers, and you do what? You made it 6, so what? Your largest number is 2. Largest number is 4. So what? You got 2 extra blank spaces. So that way you ain't got to put double quote, space, double quote to try to space stuff out. You can space out using the what? Column width. Right? Okay? All right. So, it tells you a new header file named IOMAN IP is included in that program. It must be used in any program that uses the set W. All right? You got to have it. All right? You got to have it. So, but look here. Remember I told you about if your set W is not large enough, it won't give you an error. It's just gonna print and then go, move things over. So it says you might wonder what happens if the number is too large to fit the field. All right, as in the following statement, the value is 18379. Now, that's 5 characters or 5 digits. But then I'm only allowing what? Two columns or 2 positions for the number to print. So in this case, CI will print the entire number, all right? Set W only specifies the minimum number of positions in a print field. So it doesn't matter, it's just gonna might make everything haywire, but it won't give you an error. It's just saying this is the minimum number of positions that can be used, okay? Any number larger than the minimum will cause CL to override the set W value, all right? So you won't get an error, all right? But if you're doing a loop or something, it might cause issues when you're trying to print your numbers to stay inside a certain column, all right? So look what they did here. Set W5, they outputted int val. Set W8, they outputted double val. Set W16, they outputted a string val. So what happens? All right, set W, a 5, it started here. It would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Set W8, because what? In line, we went to a new line. So here we got what? 8, from here to here. Now, the decimal point would be included, okay? So you kind of have to include your decimal place when you're considering the column width, okay? Because you gotta count it when you start counting the number of characters to be outputted, all right? And then John Smith, and it's printing a string, set W. So you could print any data type, you know, use it and then have previously the set W, all right? Now, but notice what? By default, everything is what? To the right. Okay, everything is right aligned. All right? All right. Set precision. The set precision is what you're going to use to deal with, well, right here, set precision by itself only affects significant digits. Okay? Set precision by itself. So, floating point value may be rounded to a number or a significant digit, okay, or precision, which is the total number of digits that appear before and after the decimal place. You can control the number of significant digits with which floating point values are displayed by using the set precision, just by using set precision alone. So if I had a number, if we could look at this example, notice here, set precision 5. What they did, they took this number and divided it by this number, and it came out with a long number, 4 point whatever. But here, just using set precision, but using what? Our main IP, I could say set precision 5. This number, okay, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The significant digits after the decimal place. Set significant, well no, this is the actual number, excuse me. This is the actual number. But here, set precision 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anything on the other side of the decimal place plus whatever else. So here, 4, this is set precision 4, this set precision 3, this set precision 2, and this is set precision 1. Okay? That's significant digits. Set precision by itself give you significant digits. But we're going to see later on, set precision along with fixed allows you to set only the decimal value size. All right? But just set precision by itself only gives you the what I want to say, I missed it, the significant digits. All right, so here, if we have this number, 28.92786, set precision 3, we want 3 significant digits. You want everything on the whole number side, right? And then what? So that's 2. And then what? Then the 1.9. So that's what you get. Set precision 5. This is just a whole number. Period. That's the number. That's it. That's class O?
No.
Huh?
An emergency.
Oh, all right. Then look here. Set precision 4. Well, the number is 4 digits, correct? So, cause you got what? 3 digits on the whole number side, and then you got the 5. So that equals to that number. But look here, set precision 2. You're looking for the significant digit, 2. So what? I got 2 numbers on the left side of the decimal place, so that's the significant digits. I threw everything else away. All right? So that's how set precision works when you're dealing with significant digits. Now, all right, well, this is a program they written, and all they did was set precision 5. Now, once you do the set precision, it's set until you change it in the program. All right, but once you set it one time, it's set. Now, certain other commands like set width, you gotta set it each time. All right, because each variable you output, you gotta set it. All right, but set precision, you set it and it's set for the until you change it somewhere else in your program, in another cout or in one of these. All right. So all it did was you enter this. It says 8, right? Oh well, that's the width. Set precision is 5. 1, 2, 2, 3, then add 2 more. So it could add 20 numbers at the end of that, but it's up with 1, 2, 3, and then add the 2 significant digit. All right? All right. So how do we manipulate our fix? So that's another command that came into play, fix. So here we got these numbers in it, and by default, this is what you would get, all right? You would get numbers in E notation, etc., right? And sometimes that may be hard for some people to understand, or you wouldn't want your output like that when you're dealing in business and whatnot, right? So what you would have to do is you do your set precision, give your this is the decimal, because set precision along with fixed deals with your decimal places. Set precision by itself is scientific notation, okay? So once I do set precision 2, that's telling me I'm gonna have how many decimals, and with the fixed, how many decimal places? 2 decimal places, all right? If I did set precision 1 fixed, then I would have what? How many decimal places? 1 decimal place. All right. So and that's in your assignment. Remember the wages, the gross pay, the net pay, all that was 2 digits, right? I mean 2 decimal places. But then the hours work was what? 1. So knowing how to manipulate that, and all it is remember I said once you set it, it's set for everything. So if I wanted to print day 3 fixed as 1. All I have to do is right before I stream it out, I'll do set precision 1 fixed, and then now it'll change that to that last one to 1. But you got to remember, if I'm printing anything else after that, my set precision is set what? To 1. It's gonna stay that until I change it again. All right? Okay. Now, so it shows us that when we use CR set precision 2 and the fixed, when fixed manipulator is used, all floating point numbers are subsequently printed, all right? So he's dealing with just the decimal places. So if I have this double, 1, 2, 3, 0.4567, and I'll say set precision 2 fixed, now it's gonna print out 123.45, all right? Or 45. And it did a round up to 6, but the computer really doesn't round up. Now, here we go, here's another one, okay? Although 6 significant digits are specified for both numbers, neither number is displayed with zero trailing, or displayed with trailing zeros. Now, all of a sudden, now you can say what? I want to be able to print up my numbers where I'll have all the zeros, well, all of them even with zeros aligned, all right? Because what? I could have a number, a dollar amount, and it might be 123.4, and the zero is not showing at the end. There's a way, like I said, where you fix that. Show point, all right? So when the CR statement will produce the following output. So when I do this, I want to print this number, all right? And I want to print this number, X and Y. Cout set precision 6, and then I do show point. So the show point saying, okay, here set precision, I want 6 significant digits, correct? And my show and then show point. So if the number here is not 6 digit whole or 6 digit long whole number, then whatever's remaining, I'm gonna add those zeros at the end. All right. So that's what the show point allows you to have those zero trailing zero. Now the right and left. Remember we talked about that. If you want something aligned right, just use the command right. If you want it aligned left, use the command left. But you got to look at this. When I say left here, okay, I think by default, when I say right, well, by default it's right. If I say left, it's going to stay left until I tell it right again. Everybody understand that? So if I see out A, B, and C, if I say see out set up, then I say right A, and then and I print B and C, everything gonna be to the right, A, B, and C. But I can do see out right A, stream left B, stream right C. So the first one right, the second one left aligned, the next one is right aligned. So before I stream them, I could tell them whether or not I want them left aligned or right aligned. All right? So that's how that works. So see, look, the set W 10, all right? And then you're outputting your data, all right? So I'm outputting this, this, and this, all right? So left align is set W 10, and I'm printing out X, which is the first number. So it should go to 10, and it should output this. And this set W Y, no, that's wrong though. Because this should be all the way to the left. Yeah, they printed it. This should be all the way here, and it would print out 24. And then this would all the way be all to the left, so they all would be even on this side and jagged on that side. Yeah, this output is a little bit wrong. All right, Cause let me verify that, but I know it's wrong. So if I do this left X and left test alright, I'll do set W. Alright, and run that. Did I do a new line? Yeah, no, line. Oh, I didn't do inline here. Okay. Alright. And test should be, see what I'm saying? See, test is all the way to the beginning. So that output in the book is somewhat off because what? Even though I set this at 20, it's gonna keep the what? The left alignment until I change it to right. Alright? So my alignment gonna stay, set precision stays, right? The set W doesn't stay because, like I say, you're setting it for each individual one. Alright? Now, okay. So it tells us set W, and you have to give the size or the number. Fix, remember fix gonna give you what? The number, which along with set precision, gives you your decimal places. Alright? Show point gives you those trailing zeros. Set precision by itself, it's gonna give you the significant digits, but set precision with fix gonna give you the decimal place size. Then you got left align to align the data to the left, and right align to align it to the right. Okay? And like I say, this should help you with your assignment. Okay? Working with character string. All right, we should know how to use character string. All right? Because what? We did that already. In order to use character string, we have to use what command? What header file? The string, right? Pound includes string. So what? We've introduced the string and we've introduced the what? IOMAN IP. All right? So now I can say string name. Now, if I'm going to input a single name, I can use CN. But if the name has spaces within it, we have to use the what command with the CN? Get line. Remember that. You have to remember that, because otherwise you're going to have headaches trying to solve your program. If a city has 2 words in it, you can't use CN. You have to use a what? Get line. Otherwise you're going to run into issues. Got to remember that. And look, it tells you here, get line CN, the variable. That's because what? That string that you input has a possibility of an input with what? Spaces in it. And you want to accept everything from the beginning of what you type to when you hit the enter key. All right? So you got to remember that, class. So some of y'all going to run into them issues. Because like I say, you can write the program with CN, but what? I can only put something like in Alexandria. I couldn't put New Orleans. I couldn't put Baton Rouge because what? Not using CN, because they're going to just take the first part and the second part going to go into the other variable. All right? And like I say, I'm going to give you an example because I know some people going to run into issues. All right? if I do this, I'll leave the augment IP, I'll do call include. And if I do, let's say city, I'll type. Yeah. City. Alright. Now, alright. I'll say city. Alright. Alright, so if I run this, alright, just like this, if I run it, hopefully I got all my errors out. Okay, if I do Baton Rouge, right? I use CN, correct? Look what happened. Oh, did I output it? Okay. Oh yeah, I did output it. Let's see. You don't see it clear, I'm gonna do it this way. Okay. All right, I'm gonna run it again. I'm gonna run it. And I'll do Baton Rouge. Come on. Hit us. Look what happened. Okay, please enter city. I entered what? Baton space Rouge, but what happened? I got a space in it. So it automatically took Baton and put in city, but it took what? Rouge and put it in what? State. Because I didn't use the what? CN.getLine, the getLine command. Right? So you got to remember that, class. Got to remember that. Alright? Alright. Okay. Alright. So CN.get. Alright? The CN.get command. Alright? What happens is, and you're gonna have to figure that out in your program. What happens is you're gonna need to use that CN.get sometimes when you go from numeric data to numeric data to character data to numeric data. And what I mean by that is, what happens is when you input character data, you have a buffer, all right, a keyboard buffer. It's going to accept the data, but a return symbol is also added into that buffer. And if you do not clear that buffer, when you go back to reading in integer data or numeric data, it'll accept that return character or whatever left in the buffer as part of the data. So you have to do that CN.get. So it'll get that information, and it ain't storing it in nothing, and it'll throw it away, and then your program will continue. All right. Now, some people we use CN.ignore. CN.ignore clears out the buffer. All right. But you're gonna have to do that. So what it's gonna cause your problems in your program. All right. But let's see. Let me see what they use this for. They use it as a pause. Well, you can't use it. You can use it as a pause. It's good, but you can't use it. Yeah, you can use it in Apple. You use it in Apple. All right. But what happens is the CN.get here, it pauses the system. And let me show you. Let me do it for you right quick. In here. So if I do this, when I see in city, see down state, then I do cn dot get. Alright. It's almost like a pause. Alright. Run it. And before I get my output, watch. Yeah, I misspoke. Alright. Whoa. It didn't hit it. Cn dot get. It should have hit the cn dot get to say what? I'm waiting for something. Like, like just like a CN. Like I'm waiting for something, then when I hit the enter key, it should go. But I don't know why it didn't pause. It should have paused. Alright. Cause here, I see I get it as a string input. However, there are times when you use CN to read character and it does not do what you want. For example, because it passes over all leading white spaces, all right, it's impossible to input, it's impossible to input just a blank or enter, okay, with CN. The program will not continue past the CN statement until some character other than the spacebar tab key, or enter key has been pressed. Once such a character is entered, the enter key must still be pressed before the program can continue, all right? Thus, programs that ask the user to press any key to continue cannot use the stream operator to read only the press enter key. But see, that's what I just did. I put it in there, but it did not stop. It normally this would stop and ask you to just hit the enter key to continue. Oh, I know why. It put Ruigin out there, no? If I put it in there twice, and it could be the compiler. For the text. Alright. Right. But it shouldn't, it is not asking me for the state really. See? It stopped there, but it really stopped on what? Cn.get, right? And looked like it accepted that character in the first one, and then the second one it paused. But the Cn.get allows you to pause. Class, I want you to work on the programs. The Cn, we covered this. Finish reading up on this the chapter, and then we'll, I didn't go over the function. Read over the function. We kind of looked at the function. Square root function, SQR, and whatever the expression is. All right? And that'll allow you to do that program. All right? Then they got other random functions or whatnot. We're not going to use the random, but random allows you to generate a random number, etc. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to post a test. All right? I'll post a test. And this is some debugging techniques that you can look at on debugging your program. All right? So I'll post test 3 for y'all to take and do my programs, all right? What's that?
We stand up here, y'all, do the bus case.